Summer is wrapping up and fall is just around the corner, and that means crypto gaming is about to come back strong. So today we wanted to look into a platform that's proper OG from 2017 with amazing games on it. In fact, one of these games just hit top 5 on the Epic Game Store, and that's not for Web3 games. That's for the entire Epic Game Store alongside titles like Fortnite and other ones like that. So in today's video, we're going to be covering the top 5 games on the Enjin blockchain. What's up, gamers? My name's Mike and I'm your host here at Funjible Games. Now, the first game we're going to talk about is Lost Relics, but first, if you haven't heard of the Enjin blockchain gaming platform before, let me give you a little bit of insight into it. Now, whether you're a hardcore gamer, casual gamer, or on the other side, an industry developer or game company, I think you should be looking into what Enjin blockchain has to offer. Built on a strong infrastructure and around since 2017, Enjin offers a range of tools like NFT Marketplace, Enjin Wallet, easy to use developer tools, app templates, and overall just an amazing experience for Web3 gamers. So now, without any further ado, let's dive into the first on this top 5 and let's look at Lost Relics. Lost Relics is an action-adventure game that comes along with dungeon crawling and creepy monsters, and once the game starts, you'll find yourself in a calm and peaceful town of Talmuth. But little did you know, this town is filled with dungeons, monsters, beasts, and hidden treasures. For Lost Relics, it's a single-player game and you're the hero. You explore dark and treacherous places to collect valuable loot and NFTs. Now, what I really like about this game is you don't have to pick a class and stick to that exact class for the entire game. In this one, as you're going around defeating monsters and collecting loot, in those valuable items and NFTs, you have different things where you can equip different things that'll allow you to choose a different attribute. And the better gear you're equipping to your character, the higher chance you have success in these dungeons. So the more you play, the better you're gonna get. Now, if you wanna up the challenge and bring on that strategic twist, this game also offers a permadeath mode where you probably guessed it. It's a survival mode where if you die, you lose everything that you've equipped. So there's gonna be massive bragging rights if you'll be able to accomplish the game under this difficulty. But one thing to note from this mode, it's only the virtual items that you lose. Anything attached to blockchain always stays with you in your inventory. The team makes sure they continuously update the game, adding new and cool features, just like the Mystic Maelstrom they introduced in 2024. This featured magic weapons and game modes such as Descending Nightmares and Terror Descent. If, however, you're new to crypto gaming and you're not quite sure how to use the blockchain, this game doesn't matter. It makes it super easy. The only thing we'd recommend is downloading an Enjin wallet, which you can do straightforward, but head on over to this game's website, follow all the steps, and just have a great time playing the game. Now, for all your Web3 gaming needs, head on over to fungible.games. So for instance, this is an Enjin video. So let's click on games, head up over to filters, head on over to blockchain, and let's select Enjin here and apply filters. And now we can see not only do we have top 5 to choose from, we have just so many games to choose from. So for instance, I'll click on Lost Relics here, and what you can see is a little bit about the game. We want to get you guys coming in for reviews. So definitely make sure after you check out this game, you leave your review. And then we have a direct link to the website itself. So here is where you can download and play the game. Now, next up, we're going to cover a game that's going to give you some hardcore nostalgia, and that is Into the Multiverse. This is a Web3 game that resembles the Endless Runner genre, so similar to a game like Temple Run. You will control your character called Aurora, who was once a scientist, but in an experiment gone wrong, Aurora accidentally opens a rift in the universe and gets sucked in. Aurora's rift is a pathway through multiple universes full of amazing and dangerous landscapes. To survive and find her way back home, Aurora must collect special energy called Aether Life, which she uses to heal, get stronger, and unlock new abilities. Now for this one, your starting clock is 90 seconds, so you have to be really focused and make sure you collect the right items along the right paths in order to keep extending your time and completing missions. And another cool thing about this title is it's tied into the Enjin Multiverse itself. So that means in the future, any NFTs you collect in this game will be recognized within the entire Enjin ecosystem platform. So if you enjoy Temple Run style games and like playing on PC PC or mobile, I think this one's for you. It's really easy to download and start playing, and it'll keep you entertained for hours. And number 3 on the list just smashed some records with the Epic Game Store, coming in the top 5 of all of Epic Games titles, and that is Etherscape. Etherscape is a multiplayer fantasy action RPG that takes place in a world where the line between life and death are blurred. The game revolves around your character, Etherborn, who has an eternal soul that allows you to come back to life after each death. Now, because this game is fully integrated with the Enjin blockchain, you're going to need an Enjin wallet as well as the game starter NFT. This is called an alpha contract and is available on NFT.io. So to keep this game accessible to as many people as possible, they've made the NFT really affordable. But let's say you just can't afford it, or you don't like paying and you like doing free to play, just become an active and engaged community member and they could probably give you one for free. In Etherscape, most of the items you collect come from some randomized loot in the gameplay and quests. Etherscape takes its inspiration from classic games like Rogue, featuring dungeon environments and permadeath mechanics. So in this game, if your character dies, it really means permadeath. You can't revive them. So if you do die, you will have to start off with a new character. This is meant to keep the tension and the gameplay really exciting and make you super focused as you go along through your journey. And given that this game is multiplayer, it's highly encouraged that you become part of the community and play with other players around the world. Etherscape does have an internal token called the Imperial Sovereign, which players earn through quests and different in-game activities. Now, these tokens can be used in-game to do things like vote on different storylines, game features, and settings, giving players a say in how the game evolves. And the more tokens a player has, the more influence they can have on the game. Now, because this game is fully entrenched in blockchain, there will be transaction fees, so that is a concern that some players bring up. But fortunately with Enjin, they've built their blockchain focusing on gaming. So the transaction fees are so small, you don't even need to worry about them. Now, for number 4, we have something ancient and medieval, and that is Mummy.io. And Mummy.io is an MMORPG set in a fantasy world all around a medieval empire. In this game, you'll be traveling through to unleash hidden secrets, battle enemies, and complete quests in this expanding, open medieval world. In this game, you're going to have to manage hunger, thirst, and even weather. You're going to have to gather resources, craft items, and even build a shelter in order to survive. The game features a dynamic environment, which means you'll experience an ever-changing environment where you can interact with it. You can chop down trees, gather resources, and prepare for some vicious weather. Mummy.io is almost like a time travel game where you go through different medieval and ancient times to go on different quests and experiences across history. Here, choose between 2 factions, order or chaos, and fight against other players and NPCs. It involves forming squads of operators and participating in intense battles across various maps and modes. And if you're a fan of being a game tester, now is the perfect time. All you got to do is head on over to Mummy.io, join in their Discord, and not only can you help make the game better, but they're giving away exclusive things like starter packs that could be very valuable in the future. Now, as a tester, you can play through 4 game demos, 2 from the game Mummy and 2 from the new game Elite Strike Team. And the team is being very generous here. If you give some good feedback, they're going to give you a founder's key. So to earn one of those founders packs, all you got to do is collect 5 founders keys. What are you waiting for? Head on over to their Discord and join in the action. Now, our final title on the list is a racing game called CAD Cars. If you've heard of this one before, it was because it was on the Cadena blockchain, but now it's on Enjin. And the game itself kind of has a feel somewhere between Gran Turismo and Need for Speed. And what's cool of making the switch over to Enjin, it's now more accessible and available to players on both Mac and PC. Players can personalize their vehicles in game with over 1,600 designs to choose from rims to colors. Now, what's extra special in this game when we're talking about the details of cars, I don't know if you remember that old show called Pimp My Ride where there was a character named Exhibit and he customized cars and he really knew his way in around cars. Well, in this game, we have Mohammed Khalaf and he has that same experience hands-on in cars, so he's bringing that depth of knowledge to the game. And he even worked with BMW, making sure he's giving the best in-game feel as you're driving these cars. cars. The game is currently exploring ways to let players use their CAD car NFT in different games across Enjin, so you could use that car anywhere. And for this title, they've also introduced a multiplayer battle mode where players can create private rooms and engage in car shootouts across various tracks. So if you're a fan of racing games, make sure you get your CAD car NFT and participate in their open beta. Now, that brings us to the end of this top 5 Enjin games video, but the action doesn't end there. If you want to learn more about Enjin games or other platforms like that, head on over to our website, fungible.games, where we have in-depth walkthroughs, games, and breaking news. And of course, you can also stay and follow through and watch many more videos on this YouTube channel.